Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a seriously fascinating intersection where high-stakes finance meets cutting-edge biotechnology. We're talking about a space where scientific breakthroughs are completely redefining what's medically possible. But, as you probably know, those breakthroughs, they require serious capital to get off the ground and out of the lab. And that right there is exactly the dynamic that brings us to Immuneel Therapeutics today. 100 crore. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That is a massive financial figure, especially when we're talking about the highly specialized biotech sector. When you see a number like that flashing across the financial headlines, you've really got to ask yourself, what kind of medical frontier requires this level of funding? What exactly is being built here that demands such a massive injection of capital?
Section 1. The 100 Crore Milestone. Decoding the deal.
So here's the core news we're unpacking today. Immuneel Therapeutics has successfully secured a massive 100 crore capital injection to fuel their operations. Now, on a micro level, sure, this is a clear vote of confidence in this specific company and its pipeline. But if we zoom out to a macro level, it's a major indicator of exactly where our healthcare infrastructure is heading. Look, a 100 crore investment isn't just about keeping the lights on. It is about scaling a highly complex, life-saving technology to a point where it can actually reach the masses.
Section 2. Decoding cell therapy, the scientific frontier.
Because, you see, understanding all that capital really requires understanding the science behind it. We aren't just talking about traditional, off-the-shelf, small molecule drugs here. Cell therapy is a whole different ballgame. It involves extracting a patient's very own immune cells, reprogramming them in a highly specialized lab so they can target specific diseases, like cancer, and then infusing them right back into the patient. It's a highly personalized, deeply complex logistical feat, which honestly explains the intense capital requirements they need to navigate rigorous clinical trials and build out robust manufacturing. So the framework here is pretty straightforward, but at the same time, totally daunting. First up, you have the medical frontier. Basically, there's this desperate need for advanced treatments where traditional medicines are just falling short against complex diseases. Then comes the solution. This is where Immuneel steps in, developing these highly advanced, localized therapies. But here's the catch. You can't just conceptualize a solution, you actually have to build it, test it, and scale it. And that requires the fuel. You simply cannot bridge that gap between the need and the solution without that 100 crore engine making the whole shebang possible.
Section 3. The strategic backers. Follow the money.
Now, whenever you see a 100 crore deal like this, you kind of have to play financial detective for a minute. You have to look at exactly who is writing the checks. Obviously, Cr Shah brings incredible visionary founder credibility and some serious, deep biotech expertise to the table. But joining her is this absolutely fascinating consortium of investors. We've got Singularity AMC, who represents your traditional asset management, sitting right alongside Rainmatter, the tech-forward wealth farm associated with Zerodha. And honestly, the juxtaposition here is really what makes this deal so unique. Think about it. On one side, you have the rigor, the weight, and the deep pockets of traditional institutional finance in Singularity AMC. On the other side, the modern, disruptive, tech-driven capital of Rainmatter. Usually, traditional asset management likes to stay in very safe, established industries, right? While the tech money tends to flow straight into software and apps. Seeing both of these completely distinct financial worlds converge to back a cell therapy biotech firm, that is a huge signal. It tells us that this scientific frontier is now being viewed as both a highly viable traditional investment and a disruptive technological play.
Section 4. What happens next?
So, what does this all mean, and why does it matter to you and me? Well, this capital is the exact fuel they need to pull these life-saving therapies out of academic labs and push them into the actual real-world market. It dramatically accelerates the availability of vital treatments, and it proves that institutional finance has a very real appetite for funding complex science. Ultimately, this deal advances the entire ecosystem of cell therapy. It's laying down the crucial infrastructure so that patients who are running out of options can access these breakthroughs much, much sooner. Which leaves us with one final, absolutely vital question to think about. The money is in the bank, the science is proven, the strategic partners are fully aligned. But as we all know, in the world of medicine, time is everything. With 100 crore secured, how fast will Immuneel cell therapies actually reach the patients who need them most? That is the real metric of success we need to be watching out for. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope this breakdown gave you a really clear look at the powerful intersection of capital and science.